What is up, and welcome back to the Gaming Station Podcast, Episode 6. We are back again here with Mr. Patman and Patty, and also out there, everybody, happy Father's Day to anybody out there that is fathers, and for all the amazing fathers out there. Patman, how are you doing, and how was your weekend, sir?
My weekend was fantastic. How you doing tonight, Chad?
I'm doing good. What about you, Patty? Welcome back.
Oh, it's a great day. Another great day at the gaming station, and I wish to shout out to my dad as well for being a wonderful father.
Awesome. Did you guys go see your fathers this weekend?
Indeed.
If that's possible.
I did not, because it is not possible, but I did play Dungeons and Dragons with him.
Oh, nice.
Lots of fun.
All right, and just a quick shout out here. You guys can listen to the podcast anywhere. You can watch it on YouTube. If you're watching right now, you can actually get the video preview. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're also on iTunes, Google, Spotify, and we are going to be on Pandora here shortly, just waiting to hear from that. Also, if you guys have any questions or any comments or want to give us some feedback or anything you guys want to hear us talk about, let us know down in the comments, or you can always email the podcast email. All right, let's get into this. We were talking about doing a new segment here called The Latest Gaming News over here on the Gaming Station podcast. I think it would be good to, possibly give updates on new games, new hardware, and just in case you guys aren't aware of things that are coming out that we find out, we would like to inform you guys on that. So the first thing that I was going to say is I did see that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated has been remade after, I believe, 14 years after the last one. Yeah, that's 2003.
So 17 years.
Do you guys remember playing that on PlayStation 2 or something?
Yeah. Dude. I had it on GameCube.
Oh.
That was a long time ago.
So it's just a fun game. It has mixed reviews, but I think it's because they didn't really change anything in the game. And with Final Fantasy doing a complete overhaul remake, and a lot of the newer games that aren't 17 years old, it's just basically a better graphics, the same game, better graphics. But if you like that style of game, definitely I'm going to be picking it up. And if you guys want to pick it up, I actually do have an affiliate link that you guys can click on. It will be in the YouTube description. It's a way to also help out the podcaster if you don't, you want to save some money on the game, and we also get a percentage of that. So check that out as well. Also, we have been talking about, and I think our first episode was about Minecraft. And the Minecraft Nether update is out as of Tuesday last week. Mr. Patman, have you had a chance to play that?
Not a bit, but man, am I looking forward to it. All I have heard is good things.
Patty?
Same thing. I got reminded today by you, and that instantly got me excited. I definitely want to get back on.
I did play it for about 4 hours, unfortunately, because I was already done streaming. But I ended up streaming for another 4 hours, and me and Niello had played it over on the Chatamus Productions YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see that, check that out. We can talk more about that later. But it's amazing. Probably one of the best updates. So if you like the aquatic update, it was very lots of things added into it like that. The last thing that I seen that I'm interested in is Fairy Tail. So I'm not a huge anime fan, but I did get into an anime called Fairy Tail. It is a very, very good anime, very funny, very action-packed, has a lot of good morals in the show. They're actually coming out with an RPG game. I don't know too much about that, but I know it's going to be on all platforms as well. And speaking about platforms, the code in the YouTube chat for SpongeBob Rehydrated is only for the PC Steam one, so check that out if you are looking for that on PC. So yeah, that is it from me on gaming news. Now let's go to Mr. Patman. What do you got today for us in gaming news?
So first of all, as we've covered before, the Series X is coming out in the fall is what we're really anticipating, if not confirmed already. And then First thing is Lockhart, Project Lockhart, which is rumors. It's not, I don't think it's 100% confirmed yet, but the biggest thing is Project Lockhart, which is expected to be a Series S. I'm excited because just like before with this series, with the One X and the One S, people are anticipating the price to be significantly lower for the Lockhart, especially since it doesn't have a disk drive. And given that things seem to be mostly digital these days anyway, unless you're a collector like our host here, Chatimus, that is definitely appealing because even though $400 for a console of the quality that the Series X presents is not a bad deal, that is still a nice, hefty price tag. The Series S could be much more affordable for those of us out there that don't want to pay that money. And then moving forward from that would be PS5 exclusives. I wanted to mention that the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, I believe it's called Horizon New Dawn. Don't quote me on that. But that and then the Spider-Man Miles Morales games, those are all going to be PlayStation 5 exclusive, not just exclusive to PlayStation itself. There won't be a PS4 version of those games. So my thoughts on that were very negative. I felt like that's not a great move for Sony, given that Microsoft is really selling its platform as a reverse play and backwards compatible platform, and they're really capitalizing on continuing to gain revenue from the games that they've already made, whereas Sony kind of with each generation, they seem to continue to make you buy the console for the games that you'll want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
trying to get that money.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, they are a business, but I disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that.
But big deal, and this is huge, is as we're recording this today, the Halo Infinite trailer dropped, a teaser trailer, and that is huge because we have not, I think we've only ever gotten one other official trailer of the game, and that was at E3 2018 or 2019, but I think it was as far back as 2018, and we haven't heard anything. So they are definitely teasing us for what's to come when Microsoft drops their next update in July about things to anticipate in the fall from the new console.
Yeah, and that I guess teases and suggests about the banished enemies.
Yeah, it's they're bringing back the antagonist from Halo Wars 2, and I'm really interested to see how that integrates or doesn't integrate with where they left off at the end of Halo 5, because I don't see a connection. I'm curious if you'll be fighting a war on two fronts, with fighting the AI and what Cortana has become, and then also fighting the Banished, or how that will play out. I'm genuinely curious what to expect.
The Infinite.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They are hyping that game up very well, in my opinion, in terms of teasers and not giving too much away.
Yeah,
that on the one hand, then people don't necessarily know what to expect, but then you can't break expectations if there aren't any.
Within hours, it will be under our control and humanity will burn. So it definitely sounds like it's going to be a very challenging, maybe, Halo, which I'm hoping. Doesn't mean it's going to be, but I'm really hoping it's going to be very challenging.
Yeah, that is what I would like to see. Pat, what about you? What are you looking forward to coming up?
Well, my news for the podcast this week. First of all, for any of you Doom Eternal fans, they recently came out with a new update. Was just about multiplayer. Their battle mode, the 2v1. They came out with a new map, which I'm excited for. And then they added one extra thing where the empowered demons, which are rare demons, if you didn't know, whenever one player is killed by a demon, another demon will appear that it will be that empowered demon. And so I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, but I read about it and it seems pretty interesting, and I'm pretty excited to play that.
Patty, I can shed some light on that.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Doom Eternal fan, and prior to recording this, I actually read a little bit about the update, and the one thing I did see was about the empowered demons, and basically in single-player mode, if you die, the demon that kills you is removed from your player experience and is put into someone else's campaign, and they have to fight that demon, and that demon gets stronger from you.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
Yeah, I like the idea. I feel like it just adds that extra challenge.
Oh yeah, that will bring in a new level of difficulty for players who, especially in games like that, try to play on Ultra Nightmare and not die the whole campaign. That will make it much more difficult to do that.
New experience to the game.
Mm-hmm.
More news, the Steam Summer Sale. So there's plenty of games that are ridiculously low priced right now. So if you guys are listening, as soon as this podcast's over, you should get on Steam right now and just start scrolling down. Just look if there's anything that you wanted or, to get. Now is really the time because, for example, Borderlands 3, 50% off right now. It's $30. Another good example was The Division is $10 now. For Honor is $7. Ghost Recon's $15. There's just a few, but I've seen some of them and they're ridiculous.
You said something about the Elder Scrolls franchise. What was going on with that?
Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls, which is probably something I might buy soon, is actually $16 right now.
Dang!
So if you've never played that game before, I recommend it 100%. It's only $16.
So it looks like the entire franchise is all, Skyrim's 50% off, and then Oblivion and Morrowind are 70% off. Yeah. So you can pick almost all those up for about $25 for those three. That's pretty good.
That's pretty amazing. And then for my final piece of news, CyberPunk came out with a new trailer today. It's called The Gig. And it gives us a little bit more insight into parts of the game. One of the things that it introduces something called Brain Dance, where you're allowed to go into someone else's mind. It's pretty interesting. And then for more news with Cyberpunk, if you guys didn't know this already, they did delay it again to November 19th. Which is pretty sad.
Sucks.
That's a bummer.
I actually was able to watch that live, the trailer, and it looks pretty amazing. Not going to lie. So if you guys want to check that out, go to, I believe, you can go to PCGamer, IGN.com. I'm pretty sure there'll probably be a million reviews on YouTube about it as well. I hope if you guys get a chance to, Patty and Patman, hopefully you guys get to watch that entire thing because it is really intriguing. They're definitely using the new shaders to like the max. Something I've never seen before in games.
I watched bits and pieces of it, and you're very right. It's a very uniquely graphically styled game, and I'm certainly interested to see what's on the horizon for that as we get more footage of the game and get more prior to the official release, because this game has been delayed, to my understanding, quite a few times.
I think 3.
So finally getting a glimpse of what to expect from the game has definitely boosted my morale.
Yeah. Well, you guys made a good point today, too, when we were talking about it earlier, that a delay is a lot better than a forced push. 100%. So I'm ready to play it, but I'm also ready to play a finished game because I have played many alphas, I've played many betas that were just pretty much so damaging that I didn't even want to play the final product because it was so bad. And a lot of those games they failed because they just, I don't know if they didn't listen to their reviewers or just didn't care, but they definitely, I know they have a lot of people beta testing and alpha testing this game, so I have a feeling it's going to be one of a kind. Speaking about that, did you have anything else to add to the news, guys?
No, I just to tie off what you said, Chad. I believe the quote that I was referencing earlier today when we spoke is from Shigeru Miyamoto, and his quote is, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad."
Yeah.
And I think that there are exceptions to that rule.
No
No
Man's
Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Speaking about
But
No Man's
to
Sky.
segue in,
Well, yeah, one last thing I wanted to add, though, to two games that we didn't mention, which probably are everywhere in the media. So we were trying to just touch on things that you guys might not know. But two last things for that, so we don't get yelled at in the comments for, is Last of Us Part 2 came out, obviously, in the last week. So I think it came out on Friday. And Ghost of Tsushima will be available on July 17th, 2020, as of right now, because I don't want to say that and it get pushed back again. So, but yeah, go ahead and jump into the No Man's Sky, because you guys have been playing that like crazy.
oh, haven't we? Who haven't we?
We finally got done with our basic. Well, okay, I wouldn't say we got done with it.
Yeah.
We got a basic base up, but that's just together. Independently, Patty and I have had quite a bit of experience doing it.
That's good.
I definitely played quite a little bit of it, but most recently I haven't been able to get into any of the new stuff that they've recently updated in, like the new mechs they introduced or the living ship, and that I hadn't done that before.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot of things they added that are more middle and in game too. So, which is cool.
And I found that a lot of their most recent updates to planets instead of the initial concept of going from galaxy to galaxy.
Yeah, especially talking about one of the more recent updates that they've kind of teased about. I don't know if I should say tease, but they're trying to introduce like cities into the game.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome. I know you can build a lot more in the game now than when I played it, but yeah, cities would be really cool.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do something more like civilization building in a way, instead of you just going from planet to planet to planet, seeing different things, and you're kind of like just a wanderer. Instead, I think they're trying to make you more commit to
less nomadic, I suppose.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my experience with the game has been by far net positive, because, and for all of our listeners who are considering jumping in, I definitely say that now is the time, because the game is on multiple platforms and is cross-platform playable. And on top of that, there is still a large amount of content compared to when the game initially launched years ago, and when since then the game has grown a lot. I mean, in the first couple weeks, week and a half of me playing it, I have not lost interest. There's still tons of stuff for me to do and see and experience. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only played probably, I think we got an hour in, RX and I, and it was just so fun and stuff. I mean, it reminded me of when I first played it, but with so much more to do and so many more things to look forward to, versus, before it was like, yeah, go mine a bunch of things and sell them. And that was pretty much your extent of your journey.
That is definitely not what it is anymore. And Patty has a good point with them adding cities, and I agree. Like, when I read on the wiki and things like that, to try and learn more about the game, I have found that initially, when the game was first launched, the concept was that you go to the center of the galaxy to spawn into the next galaxy, and so on and so forth, to get all the way to 255. And each galaxy was better than the previous galaxy or different somehow. But now they're really shifting their focus on making each galaxy have more content and be more livable and more things to do, so that you don't have to go to the next galaxy to experience what the game has.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to try something with like online. So just think with me real quick for a second. What if they made all 255, or they could make it they can obviously make more galaxies, but what if each galaxy was its own server, like on an online mode, and so like there'd be like thousands of people in one galaxy, and then they could all work together, do their own thing. Like economy would be intertwined. There'd be cities you can go to. I think that'd be amazing.
It'd be cool as long as PvP wasn't on, I believe. I think PvP would make it to where people are trying to like guard their solar system or whatever.
Well, but imagine think of it like what if they took that direction and they included PvP, Chad? What if you had like an internal crime system and you had planets that had a higher crime rate because there were more people playing PvP on that planet? You could get robbed, you could steal from someone, maybe they could develop a planet that's called a purge planet, and No Man's Sky, if you ever use that idea, I'm copywriting that.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Where they have a high crime rate, but there's no rules. There's nothing against it. Like maybe some planets are more lawful than others. I don't know. They could take.
I'm sure they're. Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting at. I'm sure they're going to RP this game eventually if they have not already. I mean, modding is definitely the future of gaming, because if you look at Grand Theft Auto, like the most popular A, streamers, and B, game of Grand Theft Auto is the RP servers. Like nothing blew up more with Grand Theft Auto than the RP servers. So I don't doubt they're going to or have already made RP servers where they have international, men in black, the security for
police.
Yeah, the police force. Like that, they guarantee you that's either an idea they're working on, or it's probably already out somewhere. I mean, I'm not that high into the modded scene, but I'm sure you could find it. So I think that'd be cool.
I don't know. I would say the highlight of my experience playing the game so far was definitely the abyssal horror that I ran into. Because for all our listeners, this is a theme for me. I hate water. And I'm terrified of ocean games. So going into No Man's Sky, I had no idea that some of the planets even had water. So I'm swimming to get a living pearl from an armored clam, and on my visor, about 7 units deeper, is a abyssal horror, and I looked down there, and it was not pretty. That thing is terrifying. It was some kind of eyeball thing coming out of the ground, looking around, protecting some structure, and I'm not stupid. I had no urge to just dive down there and see what would happen if I got close. I know you would.
Yeah. Funny you bring that up, because we talked about Maneater, and I expressed my same feelings about a water game. Kind of for the same reasons in one sense, and probably more for the whole claustrophobia thing. But yeah, continue your story of that amazing journey into the water.
Well, I mean, it was... I dive down there, and the thing is like looking around, and I'm not close enough for it to detect me yet. But mind you, this thing's pretty big. It wasn't compared to a human. Maybe if you were in submarine or some exocraft, it might seem less big.
Yeah,
but definitely by human standards. I mean, the eyeball was bigger than my character. Just the eyeball itself. So yeah. So this thing's really big, and I'm not gonna get too much closer for fear that it'll attack me and kill me. And remember, I've only been playing for like a week, so that doesn't take much. So I swim away, but that was unexpected. Chad mentioned to me today that they might be overhauling the combat system, but before commenting on that, there isn't a lot of combat. There are enemies, but I mean, I got a bolt caster on day 3 of playing, and I was fine. Like, it's not like there's a ton of things to be worried about. But the abyssal horror really changed my perspective on that. Depending on what planet you're on and where you go, you can find things that will kill you.
Yeah.
Actually, now you talk about it, whenever we were playing together on the server we created, that last planet we found, I remember we ran into that building with all those sentinels, the ones that like look like dogs or whatever.
Yeah,
And there were like 4 or 5 of them guarding that building. I'm
at
like,
least.
yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah. No, we were early on and we landed. We were like, this is a great spot. And as soon as we land, there's like a manufacturing facility, but it's not like the one I found on my normal game save had like 3 of the little flying itty bitty robot sentinels. This thing was guarded by like 5 to 6 of the dog shaped sentinels.
Yep.
And I was like, nah,
Yeah.
not
Nah.
happening.
No, because
maybe later.
Yeah, there's not really any attack against them. Like, even the Boltcaster's just not powerful enough to... And if you do kill 1 or 2 of them, the next wave, just wait, because I don't want to spoil it for you. Just wait for what they send in next. And that's not even the end of it. Like, if you think Grand Theft Auto's 3 stars is bad, or 4 stars, or 5 stars, nothing compares to when you get the 4th and 5th wave of No Man's Sky's Sentinels, if that's what we call them. It's impossible, but let's just put it that way. So,
I don't know, Chad, if you've played more, but you actually can buy better weapons too, though. Now I haven't gotten far enough into being able to like attach a better weapon upgrade onto the toolkit. Tool gun. I forget exactly what it's called, but
multi-tool.
Yes, thank you. But you can actually get like S+ guns and stuff like that will do more damage.
That's good.
But,
they didn't have much when they had the Boltcaster and a laser, and that's pretty much it. You would basically need to go in your ship and shoot at them.
There are better weapons now, Chad. They're first of all expensive in units. I had to get a lot of cobalt, ionize it all, and sell a lot of it in order to gain the 650,000 units just to get a basic rifle compared to the pistol that you spawn. But
oh wow,
flip side, now I don't worry so much when I get attacked by something. So, it's a trade-off. Plus, I feel like if they do overhaul or add more content to the combat, that will benefit. There will be a draw, because as of right now, there isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
That could go a lot of ways.
The overhaul would be really nice. I would like to see a bigger, not Halo type fighting, but I would say pretty close. Like where the battle seems more legit, not where you're just shooting at a metal thing and hiding for 20 minutes trying to kill it and its friends that want to come find you.
Well, and I'd also like to see more biological combat. Less. I like the Halo direction that you're suggesting as well, but I'd also like to see more animals that become a regular problem.
Yeah. Oh, I know I know. Planet, I think it's planetary. I don't know if that's the correct word or term, but there is some planets where you're just going to have to fly away because there's so many hostile mobs or hostile creatures on that planet. Yeah, because I've watched some gameplay where it's just everything on that planet wanted to kill you. So you either fly away or you try to kill them all.
It's funny that you mention that, Chad, because I was on my normal save. I was just heading to a black hole, and in one of the star systems, I decided to land because I needed to make more antimatter. And lo and behold, this planet is called a paradise planet, and that is the most deceiving name ever.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, well, it was when I first landed, nice and grassy. I mean, it looked like a planet Earth. There was clear blue water, there was no like hazardous environment stuff, no radiation or heat or cold wind or anything, no toxic environment, and palm trees everywhere. And I get on the ground and I'm walking around and I look in the sky and there's these giant floating worms with teeth all over the front of them, and we're talking loads of these, and they're aggressive. So, not paradise to start, and then I'm like, okay, so maybe not this planet after all. I start walking back to my ship, and I realize that it says blistering flood incoming. a blistering flood, and apparently it like started to rain, and the rain was like superheated or something. I don't even know how that works, but the weather effects for the planet said blistering floods. So I got in my ship and I gave up for the night because I was like, well, now I'm stuck here, so I got to find some antimatter. And this planet's not going to be.
Cut it, yeah.
Well, it looks like it says that they're full of, full of creatures that want to just eat you.
Yeah.
And
for Paradise Planet, that I think the developers knew what they were doing.
oh yeah,
They
somebody sees Paradise Planet, and they're like, "Oh, this is going to be a great place to set up my house."
No.
And then they realize,
No,
"Oh,
it's
that's right. The game just completely trolled me."
Yep, 100%. And I fell for it big time, and I guess I should have known.
Yeah, they do look very green, I guess. But I like the whole pet feature. I don't even know if you can actually do anything more than offer them food and ride them. I'm hoping you can. Maybe start like a farm or something of them, but I don't know. I hope that's a thing. I see you can collect milk from some of these creatures too. And ride them. That's pretty neat that you can ride them.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you can do much with it, because I know the controls for me were really hard to get used to on trying to control which way they go.
The spaceship's controls seem kind of hard as well.
Yeah, they can be. I think I was telling either you or Patty that you really have to adjust them.
Oh, yeah.
Especially controller, because I started this on controller on, I believe, what was it, Xbox, I believe. And then I got it on PC, and PC's so much easier. But it's still, there's a learning curve for the way that the ships fly, especially when you're trying to fight. I know there is plans for future updates, and I know you mentioned one of those, the combat. It's just rumors, the combat update, possibly revamping the procedural generation system as well. Whether that's true or not, who knows? I know it'd be a really nice thing to change that, because it's been the same way since it came out.
Any change can be good. I mean, it just depends on how they do it. I mean, some of those overhauls are rumored, but the way I see it, as far as I can tell, they have a good sense of what's good content to add.
Yeah.
And what kind of things are bad. I mean, it seems to me like they listen to the No Man's Sky fan base pretty well.
I would hope so, because their fan base went from like 100,000 to 3 when it first came out. So
at launch, it was a big disappointment. So, but the game has grown, the community has grown, and as they've added more stuff, the game has gotten better and better.
Yeah,
I think that wraps it up for me tonight, guys.
Okay,
I gotta bust out for this.
Yep. You got things to do, and me and Patman are going to jump into some more of one of the games he brought up in the news. So appreciate you being here, Mr. Patman.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to talk, and I'll be back for the full length of the next episode.
All right, sir. Well, you enjoy, and we will talk to you later.
Yeah, you guys have a good rest of the night.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, Patty, we were talking about something today that really irked me, and I have pulled it up here just to see what's going on, and that would be, guys, Cyberpunk 2077. Let me read this to you here. While Cyberpunk 2077 will be a single-player RPG, a separate multiplayer release is expected in 2022. I was not aware of this. I think I had heard about this, but I thought they had changed their mind. Now, me, myself, I love solo-player games. So I don't play them because I don't have time. That's the main reason. Like, I'm always playing with other people because that's streaming. That's a lot more fun for everybody. Everybody likes to see and interact with multiple people. At least I feel that way. What's your feelings on it being solo?
Well, be honest. I don't think it's going to deter people.
Yeah.
Necessarily. But I do think it's going to. I want to say maybe like depending on how soon they come out with a multiplayer after the game, can depend on their fan base.
Correct.
That is what I believe. Because, I mean, if they come out with it too late and people start going through the game and finishing it in quotation marks, of course, because from what I can tell, this game is huge and I'm sure there's plenty of replayability in the game. I'm 100% sure. But I do know, because I used to be one of those people myself, that not everyone wants to replay the game. Some people are just going to play it maybe once, maybe twice, and then they're probably going to be done and go back to whatever else they were playing.
One thing I can kind of compare this to, for me, is Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to PC. I was 100% hyped for this game. It is another Rockstar game, which we know Grand Theft Auto is like one of the biggest games in the entire world. And it probably always will be because they have great ideas and everybody loves the multiplayer aspect. I was super stoked. I almost pre-ordered it. Okay, but it didn't come to PC for what, 6 to 9 months? I haven't even bought it. I haven't even bought The Last of Us 2. I bought Last of Us 1. I haven't played it yet. Like I said, I don't have time to play single-player games. But I will be eventually playing those offline and recording and editing and uploading those. But I was so anticipating Red Dead 2. Because I played Red Dead 1, unfortunately, towards the death of it, I guess. It had been out for way too long. It was aged. It had horrible graphics. But I played it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool, a great concept. So I was stoked for Red Dead 2. And then they said that the PC version wasn't going to be out for a while. So I'm not going to do the same thing. I'm going to pre-order. Actually, I think I already pre-ordered it. Never mind. CyberPunk. It's already pre-ordered, so we don't have to worry about that. But I mean, I just don't know how you can have an open world RPG like that and it not be multiplayer for 2 years. Or technically a year, since it's pushed back to October. So almost a full year, possibly 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see how that's going to be helpful.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know either. I mean, so with like the trailer we were talking about, and as you said yourself, actually, the game's basically done.
Yeah.
And I think. And obviously, they're probably just working out the kinks and everything. And, you know, because of the virus going on and everything, they're trying to hold back. I'm just... irritated is probably the only word I have.
About the pushbacks?
Yeah. I need it. Yeah, I need it.
Yeah. It definitely looks good. And Red Dead came to PC on November 5th, 2019. It was originally released in October, I think, of 2000. Yeah, October of 2018. So it looks like we could be seeing almost the exact same thing, if not longer. And I didn't buy it. I did not buy Red Dead 2 on PC because it was too late. And I think... Didn't they delay I think they delayed multiplayer too.
I heard that online for Red Dead 2 is pretty awful.
Oh yeah, that too.
I heard that it if you ever wanted to play Red Dead 2 online, you just shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it was bad, which is kind of crazy considering they made Grand Theft Auto, and it has, like, the best online community and most online players that I've ever seen. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it topples World of Warcraft or anything, but I would say it probably does. There's a lot of people that like shooters.
That's very true.
So,
FPS is definitely one of the biggest areas in gaming.
Yeah. But looking at it, and you're right, it does look very, very similar to, I would say, a cross between GTA and Fallout, with the whole futuristic look to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway,
like the world aspect as well.
Yeah, and you guys let us know in the comment, rate us on what you guys think about all of the the games that we talked about, you guys can let us know your opinions and what you guys think as well. Because the podcast, we're just giving our opinions on these games. Nothing is like set in stone, but my opinion is I prefer multiplayer games, and I thought this game was going to be multiplayer. So being that I'm going to have to wait 2 years. So basically, if the game isn't as good as hype is out there, the multiplayer is not going to succeed.
Oh, 100% not.
Because, people aren't going to continue to play it. They might pick it back up once multiplayer is released and try it out, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of bug fixes and a lot of updates, but it's just, I don't know. I didn't know they were planning for this game to be out that long and live that long, I guess. So I'm guessing they're looking for it to be a Grand Theft Auto-esque type game later on in the future. Grand Theft Auto's been around, 6 years now, just number 5?
And it's still booming.
Oh yeah, it's still booming. They're always coming out with new updates, new events, etc., etc. Cyberpunk 2077. It looks phenomenal. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at parts of that trailer. It has me so excited for the game. It really does.
There's only one game that looks better than that, and it's EFT. Straight, hands down. EFT is one of the best looking games I've ever played. But it's more realistic looking versus, awesome looking. I think Cyberpunk's got that awesome, amazing new look because, they're using the new RTX shaders. But whereas they do have a shader pack now, I guess, for Escape from Tarkov, but we don't talk too much about that game over here because I'm the only one that plays it. But anything else you wanted to jump in here on the podcast? I know we were going to talk about the VR, but none of us have looked too much into that, and with all the games that are coming out right now, none of them are VR, so it's kind of not on topic. So that will be definitely a future episode. Same with we talked briefly on the new updates on the platforms coming out with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. But we will be talking more about that in future podcasts because it is coming out very soon. I think it might be holiday, but it seems like Sony and Microsoft are in a war with each other, so one might come out earlier than the other, and that means it's probably going to come out earlier than it did the first couple times. So we'll see.
I was thinking the same thing, just saying sorry about the fact that we said we were going to talk about VR, but then it kind of became irrelevant, and at the moment at least, we can always come back and talk about it again. But,
definitely going to topple that topic soon. Hopefully it gets big again. That once another good game comes out. Well, I think that is it from us in episode 6. Thank you all for hanging out and listening to us. Next one should be out in a few days from the initial release of this one. And I'm not sure too much. What do you think we want to talk about then?
I don't know yet. I think we'll have to think about it.
Yeah. We'll look at the news of things, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more things that come up between now and then. And we're going to hopefully be playing some No Man's Sky together, so we might have some more stuff on that. So you guys check that out. No Man's Sky is free with Xbox Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. So if you have that, check out that game. If you like creating stuff, if you like surviving and manipulating the ground and mining, and there's so many things. It's sandbox, open world. It's like Minecraft-y like game with space feel to it. So I don't know if that's the best summarization of the game, but that's my take on it. The very long take of what No Man's Sky is. But yeah, and it's also only $29.99 on PC. It is cross-platform. It doesn't seem to be on sale at this moment, but that does not mean it won't change. So if you enjoy those games, check them out. It is on every platform besides Switch. Well, thank you so much, Patty, for hanging out, and Patman only missed just a little bit here, so we appreciate you guys and everything you do. If you guys want to help support the podcast and the channels, whether it be on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, or over here on YouTube if you're watching the video version. All the links are in the description. We got Patreon and multiple other ways. Sharing the podcast would be the most amazing thing if you guys could share it. That's the only thing I would ask from you guys is just share it around, especially if you enjoy it. Share it with your friends and let them know that you're enjoying it. We do appreciate everybody that has been doing that. We actually have a really good growth from. We're only on the 6th episode, and this one's just now up. So we appreciate everybody doing the shares, the likes. Make sure you guys rate the podcast because that does help. Let us know if there's anything you guys want us to change or topics you guys want us to talk about. But yeah, all the links will be in the description, mainly on YouTube, but you guys should be able to check it out in some of the podcast sites that allow us to do that. Appreciate you, Patty, and the gaming station is now signing off.